Hello and good morning to the entire judging panel of the conference. I'm highly obliged to be a part of this team, and my paper getting selected for the same in your esteemed conference is a great achievement for me. With that being said, this is Uzma Khalid on the other side giving my presentation on identification of COVID cases from radiomics using transfer learning based convolutional capsule network. Moving on to the abstract part. The abstract part will be giving an entire overview of what the exact presentation is about and what exactly has been mentioned in my paper. So, according to the statistics, the world has been hit by the COVID 19 towards the second end of the 21st century, and we are still being victimized as a result of such an increasing number of cases which has been taken place due to the pandemic. And after having a look at all the statistics, there has been an urgent need, an urgent requirement by software developers and technological engineers in order to design an automatic recognition system which will result in order to reduce the spread of the virus. Considering this into support, the work which I have been presented in my paper offers a decision support system which is completely based on radiological images that takes use of x-ray images in order to diagnose the presence of the virus in a human being. The entire implementation of the paper and my project takes place in two halves, the first half being implemented using model number 1, followed by the second half being implemented by making use of model number 2. However, both the models are completely based on on the convolutional neural networks with the base model as a CNN. Apart from that, the entire implementation will be taking place by making use of three concepts: CNN, capsule networks, and a variant of transfer learning, that is VGG16. Moving to the introductory part. As we all know about the current statistics of the COVID virus, what all it has done to the globe so far. Apart from that, there were certain detection techniques which were introduced in the early stages of the pandemic, including the RT-PCR and the swab test. However, there were there were certain disadvantages with regards to these tests, including the number of days and the number of hours it took for the results to come. And that is one of the reasons that I arrived into deriving a technological method that could give results instantaneously, and radiology was the answer to all my questions. That is the reason why my entire focus shifted towards conducting the same experiment by making use of x-ray images. So yes, that is the introductory part. Moving on to the literature survey. This slide completely talks about the entire research area which is done by different scholars, multiple scholars in the same field, by making use of different techniques in order to detect the presence of virus in a human being. The common factor of all being obviously the usage of x-ray images. So there are certain authors who made use of x-ray images in order to detect pneumonia infected people and covid-19 people, and also they further conducted their experiments in such a way that their work could easily differentiate between the two. They made use of deep learning techniques. Apart from that, there were also certain authors who made use of transfer learning techniques with a combination of deep learning models such as ResNet 50, VGG16, and CNN. There were a couple of other authors who worked on 100 such images which were obtained from radiology, and they detected the presence of the virus in the lungs. And most importantly, they were able to deduce a cost effective and a fast screening purpose based model. So basically, uh, the reason which made me arrive to a conclusion of selecting this topic is because of the vast and huge literature survey which is still being going on so far. The commonmost factor is the usage of X-ray images by all the authors, and the other commonmost factor is the usage of deep learning models or machine learning models or an amalgamation of different algorithms. And then what other researchers and authors do is amalgamate different algorithms in order to deduce the one which would work perfectly, giving higher accuracy and precision. So yes, this was the literature survey. Moving on to the materials and methods part. This slide completely defines the materials and the methods which have been used in order to implement the same. The left hand side depicts the data set which has been used in order to carry out the execution of the project. In my case, we have made use of X-ray images which were available on the Kaggle repository. We made use of 25 images of normal people and 25 images of COVID infected people, and then later henceforth the entire data set was divided and splitted into a training and testing data set with a ratio of 80:20 respectively. The entire data set was then further fed to the machine learning in order to train them using the methods which will so on be explained right now. Apart from that, the entire implementation of the project takes place by evaluating the model using the concepts of CNN, capsule networks, and transfer learning, and dividing the entire model into two halves, with both the halves having CNN as the base. So the methods which were so being used in order to implement are CNN, capsule networks, and transfer learning. As we all know, that CNNs are deeply used and very widely and commonly used in detection of anything with regards to medical imaging, such as Alzheimer's or brain tumor classification. But however, there are certain limitations when it comes to CNN. The first one being, generally CNN requires a large amount of data set which needs to be used. That's the first disadvantage which I, as a research author, did observe. And the second disadvantage, a very big disadvantage of CNN, is it cannot detect images when they are rotated, which makes CNN translationally uh, ir, uh, rotationally invariant in nature. As a result of which, when an image is rotated, CNN tends to lose spatial information. So these are the major two disadvantages of CNN, which resulted into expanding our work towards capsule networks. So now we shall see what exactly the working of capsule network. This is primarily the network architecture of a capsule, which is a very famous architecture available throughout the internet. In this, generally what happens is capsules are actually an extended part of CNN. So whatever and however the CNN works, its work has been extended towards into achieving the capsule networks. Now considering the image 4. Now when this image 4, it has the dimensions of this grayscale image is 28 cross 28 cross 1, which eventually means that this 28 cross 28 is the dimension of the grayscale image, and this number 1 is used in order to illustrate that the number of channels in a grayscale image are 1. If this was an RGB, the number of channels here would be 3. So when this 4, the image 4, is convolutioned using another filter kernel whose dimensions are 9 cross 9 with total number of filters to be 56. So this one remains the same because it's a grayscale image with a kernel size of 9 cross 9 and total number of filters to be 256. When these both are convoluted together, the resultant dimensions are 20 cross 20 cross 256. With 20 cross 20, the dimensions of the new vector matrix, and 256 are the number of channels, this resulting into all the number of parameters which are to be trained. 9 cross 9 remains the same as this 9 cross 9 plus 1 because of the bias, and there are 256 such filters, hence it's multiplied by this, giving us an entire value of 20,909. then the next part which takes place then the next part which takes place is This being convolved with this, giving an output of 6 cross 6 cross 256, which is further reshaped into such 32 blocks with 8 channels having an output vector of 1 cross 1 cross 8. Next in this slide gives the final architecture of the digital capsule layer of the capsules which are taking place, in which the 8D vectors are converted into 16 and 152. The verticality is being converted and dimensioned to 10 with an overall dimension of 1 cross 1 cross 16. So yes, this was the entire architectural mathematics which takes place in the capsule. Next, moving on to transfer learning, which is the third used concept in our uh, implementation that takes place. So yes, this is exactly the architecture of VGG16. The VGG16 architecture generally has convolutional layers, max pooling layer, fully connected layer, and a softmax layer. And all the convolutional layers have a filter size of 3 cross 3 with a stride of 1. And all max pooling layers have a filter size of 2 cross 2 with a stride of 2, wherein the image is being placed over here and then undergoes through a max pooling layer, then undergoes through a max pooling layer over here, and this. The max pooling layer is being represented by the red diagrams. So this is the working of VGG16 layer. So the three concepts which are used in the implementation of the project are CNN, capsule networks, and VGG. This slide brings us to the results part, in which the two models are being compared. The two models, with the first model where a comparison of CNN and capsule networks is being done, and the second model where a comparison of VGG16 and CNN model is being done. Later on, these two models are being evaluated on the basis of four evaluation matrix. The first one being confusion matrix, the second one being an accuracy versus loss graph, and the third one being precision, recall, and F1 score. And then comes the final output. Once the model 1 is being implemented, model 2 is being implemented, and finally a comparative analysis between these two models are being done. This slide gives us sorry, this slide gives us an overview and a comparison between the two models. This is the confusion matrix which is achieved from model 1. This is the confusion matrix achieved from model 2. This slide gives us an information about the model 1 and the model 2. This is the performance matrix of model 1. This is the performance matrix of model 2. Model 1 gives us an accuracy of 72%, wherein the base model was capsule network and was implemented using CNN, whereas model 2 gives us an accuracy of almost 100%, wherein the base model was capsule network and which was implemented using the VGG16 module. Hence, on comparing both the models on the basis of accuracy obtained, it is however noticed that the accuracy of model 2 is better than model 1. This slide gives us an output graph in the form of accuracy versus the loss. Here we obtain and we see that the loss is continuously being decreasing and the accuracy is being increasing. This is the loss versus accuracy graph of model 1, and this is the loss and accuracy graph of model 2. Here we observe that the loss is decreasing and the accuracy is continuously increasing. Finally, in this slide we come to a conclusion wherein we have obtained and achieved using two models with capsule network as the base. It has been observed that model 2 with VGG16 and capsule network as the base model works better in order to detect the presence of virus in a patient by making use of radiological images such as X-ray images. Thank you.